Hello, friends. Many of you have been asking for the tutorial on how to make a chicken coop. My design is not the same as I believe the original creator was Lila Stern. She created the chicken coop. I'm not even sure if she was actually the original creator, but I want to give her credit because I did find her chicken coop on her plot and also through social media. But I wanted to create my own version of it and give you the tutorial. All right, let's get started. Before we start, let me show you how I designed mine. I made mine with some copper pillars and the copper floor pieces. I just wanted a more rustic look. I didn't want it to be white in color. I wanted it more brown in color. And I didn't want to use the wood floors because I just didn't feel like the aesthetic that it was what I wanted. I did use the same shelves that she used. I can't remember if she colored them or not, or if they're even colorable. I think the capital chic, the industrial shelves are colorable, I believe. But I used the industrial wall shelves and the capital chic shelves. I don't remember if she used this planter, but this is the planter that I chose to use on the side. I did use different ceiling planks, so I wanted to do the more wood aesthetic on top. And then for the egg collection area, I used the same shelf, which is the ranch wall house shelf, house wall shelf. I just turned it a little differently. I didn't tilt it because I figure this can pretend like this is the lid that you lift up and grab the eggs. And then I just decorated mine a little bit differently. I didn't feel like having the double wide of the ramp, but this is just how I wanted to make mine. And I just noticed that mine's a little bit off center right here, but I will fix that in the tutorial. All right, well, let's get started. I'm going to give you a list of what you need, and let's head over to a different area of my plot. All right, so here is our inventory list. You are going to need 2 copper floors, 3 wood floors, 1 table of your choice. I chose I believe it's called the camping table. That's just the size that I like and the aesthetic that I like. You are going to need 12 of the industrial shelves, 2 of the capital chic shelves, of course your bird, which is the duck. If you don't have that recipe, then you can fish it up in any of the lakes. It's typically with no bait, I believe. And then also you'll need the makeshift small cabinet. That is also a fishing achievement. You will need a bowl. I would recommend having a few around just in case, but you at least need 1 that you can reuse. And then you will need 30 of the smallest pavers that you can use. You can use either stone or wood. It doesn't matter, just as long as they're the smallest ones that you can have. And I set them out here because it makes it easier to just grab and bring it over versus trying to select the size each time. This took me a good 5 minutes just to lay out the exact sizes because it kept rotating to the larger sizes, which I didn't want. So it does take a little bit of time, but I just laid them out here. And then you need 8 of the pillars. You don't have to use copper, but that's just my choice. And then you will also need 10 of the wood plank pavers. Alternatively, you can use the other square pavers. This is just for roof decoration. And then you'll need 3 wood walls. Again, you don't have to use wood. You can use stone or the copper or even the iron, just whatever choice you feel like using. Okay, and then you will also need a station. This is our workstation. You will need 2 shelves that are rotatable. I just choose the industrial wall shelf because it's easiest to work with. And you also need 2 walls to place them on. I'll explain the reason why later. And then I always have a ramp nearby because I need to be able to climb in things and see on top of stuff. And then I just quickly grabbed a couple boxes and stacked them up. This is just so that I can place a couple items out of my way and also for easy grabbing. And you'll understand why later. You will also need the greenhouse flower box. You don't have to choose this style, but if you want to use some sort of any planter box on the side would look really cute. And you also need the ranch house wall shelf for the egg collection area. All right, let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is we need to build our shelf pieces, which consists of taking the gourmet bowl on top of the shelf, just like this in that little center square, the first one that's a full square. So you always want to make sure that you are putting that in that exact spot, just for ease of lighting up. All right, so one thing I did forget to mention is you need to make sure that you have a house to put all these on. This glitch will not work on the wall pieces because what happens when you select it, it'll select the wall piece itself, versus on here, it'll only select the shelf and the bowl. So you will need to make sure you work on the side of a building. And you also need to have another plot that you are able to jump to. Because we will be switching plots when we do this glitch. If you are on a console, you can do this glitch. The only thing is I believe that for the cancel placement, you have to jump and press another button at the same time. I'm not exactly sure which button that is, but there are plenty of YouTube tutorials on how to cancel place while on console. All right, so I am working on PC, but let's go ahead and get this process started. All right, so we have our bowl, and we are going to select the bowl and then group select the shelf along with it. For me, I am on controller on the PC, so I am using my my left hand trigger to group select it. So I am going to do that. I'm going to move this over to, actually, we're not even ready for that yet. So I'm going to actually put this back and cancel it. So the first thing we actually need to do is place our pavers on the shelf. So we're going to grab 2 pavers. Okay. So when we place our pavers, we need to make sure that we are lining them up every single time in the same exact spot. So for me, it's going to be on that center line, but the farthest space over, so that the edge is along the edge of the shelf. The edge of the paver is along the edge of the shelf. Okay, so once you have that, you're going to grab the shelf and you're going to rotate it at a 90-degree angle. And we are going to always remember where we are placing the shelf at the same height so that all of our wall pieces end up at the same height. So for me, it's going to be right underneath this little groove on the diagonal line of the wall piece. So I'm going to place it there. You see how it's that second spot over from the edge. okay? And it's underneath this diagonal wall. That way I have a marker, okay? So the next thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna grab this paver and you're going to place it on top of this paver on its side. Sometimes it's very hard to get in place. Sometimes you have to turn off the grid to do it. It's a very small little sliver of a spot where it turns green. So when you turn off the grid, I press Z. We're just looking for where it turns green when it's sitting on top of here. I may have to move my piece of paver up a little bit. It might not quite be on the edge as far as I want it to go. Let's try. It does take some practice. All right, we're gonna try again. So we're gonna take, this is the hardest part of the entire build. Well, it's one of the hardest parts. So I'm gonna grab this paver. I am gonna try to keep it in that same center line, but I'm gonna move it just slightly a little closer to the edge. So where it's almost hanging off of the edge. You see when you look at it right there? Okay, so now we're gonna rotate it back. Put it back in that little groove spot. Now we're gonna try placing this on, oop, there it is. You see how it highlighted the green right there? So you'd place it right there on top, on its side. All right, so the next part is we are going to grab our bowl and our shelf by group selecting, with the bowl selected first. Once you have that group selected, go ahead and grab it, and you're going to place the shelf and right on top in the center where the shelf is touching the wall, but it's not using the wall as its anchor. It's actually using the paver as its anchor. So we're going to place that down right in the center. And now we are going to grab the paver that it's on its side right here, that's up against the original shelf. And we are going to move that and place it down on the ground for now. We are going to make all of these pieces, and I will show you why we are pre-making them, just to make sure that we have everything lined up properly. Okay, so now we're going to grab our bowl off of there because we don't need it. We're going to use it again over on the next shelf. Where's my bowl? There we go. Okay, so we are putting this on that second slot in the middle, the second slot back, and right in the middle. So that's there. All right, and let's prep our work area again. I will only do this twice to show you, but I will speed through the rest of this so that we're saving time. Okay, so we have our shelf turned correctly. Now we're gonna grab our two pavers. I'm just gonna put this on top and then grab the bottom one. Oh, that took longer than I thought it would. Okay, so we have our paver. Again, we're going to put it along the edge. We don't want it hanging over the edge because it's actually going to displace how this is going. So whenever you have it in the center, just pull it back just slightly, and so it's barely over the edge right there. Okay. And now we're going to rotate this again. Put it underneath that little groove so we know exactly the height. And then we will place this paver on top. Let's find that little sweet spot. It's right there. Place. And then we are going, well, we're not rotating yet, so back out of that. And we are going to grab our bowl and our shelf again by group selecting. Place this centered as far back as you can. There we go, just like that. Then we grab the paver that is sideways and we put it on the ground. And we are going to set it right next to here to make sure that these are lined up at the same height. And it looks like they are. See? That's the reason why we make sure that this is always in that same exact spot. We don't want to have our shelves end up being different heights because it would make it look all wonky. All right, so I'm going to grab the bowl again and I'm going to put it back on the shelf in its spot, and I believe it's right there in the center. Yep, right there. And I will go ahead and skip the rest of this, and I will meet you back when you are done with getting your shelves done. Okay, so now that we have all of our pavers and wall pieces lined up to the correct height, we're going to move on to the next step, which is to grab our table. And I'm just going to put it over here next to my ramp because I will need my ramp for working. Okay, I'm going to turn the table just like that. This is going to be the front of mine. And we're going to grab our floor piece. And we're just going to put it on the center of the table, lined up as centered as we can get it. Let's see if that's centered. Yep. Okay. And then we are going to grab our pillars. We could actually grab all of them at the same time by putting one on top of each other like that. We just need 4 for right now. Grab all these, bring them over. Okay. First one, I'm gonna put it right in the corner. And grab from here. We'll adjust these as we need to. I'll show you what we mean in just a moment. Sorry if you hear my daughter in the background. Okay, so let's go ahead and adjust these, and let's turn off our grid, and let's get them right in the corner, touching the table just like that so that it's corner to corner. Let's get those right in here. Okay, corner to corner on all the sides. Okay, and then we're going to start placing our pieces, our wall pieces. So the first time we're going to put one right here. We want to make sure that we are not having the side of the table protrude out from these. So we could actually bring that in just a little bit more. Let me see. That looks good. So let's grab this next piece and put it here. And for this, we will definitely make sure that we have the grid off. Actually, let's put this on the edge first. Let's kind of merge that with that. Okay. And grab the next piece, rotate it, and back just a little. Actually, let's bring this one forward a little. Turn off the Z placement. Yep, now they're all lined up. Okay. And then for this next part, grab another one. Start over here in this corner. Turn off Z. Turn off your grid. Let's put it in the corner just like that. Grab another one. Put it in the center, line it up. And then, right, for this corner one, we are going to need to cancel place. So to cancel place, you're going to need to grab the piece and move it out of the way, but don't place it. You're going to need to press the number of whatever you have that is able to be placed. So you press the numbers. For me, it's number 1. And you're going to need, after that is appearing, you're going to need to press cancel. And so that moves that out of the way temporarily. And then you go ahead and grab this next one. And we're going to put it in place. Again, I'm going to turn off my grid. And I'm going to line this guy up. Put it right in the spot. And to get this back in its place, we are going to need to hop to a different plot. Which is, I'm going to hop to my Buried Alive plot, which a lot of you have seen before. If you haven't, go ahead and check out one of my other videos. I believe it's my coffin video and also my spooky tree video. All right, and then we're going to go back to the plot we were working on. And now you can see that that is back in its place. All right, and now we're going to repeat the same things on the other side. So we're going to grab these ones. I like working from this side over. I'm going to turn off my grid again. Make sure that table is not protruding through. I'm going to move this closer. We might need to move this pillar out just a little bit. Just so that the table is not protruding out. Okay, so let's move this. Oh, see, yeah, the table. All right, let's grab this again. It's easier to see from this side. I'm trying to find that spot where it doesn't protrude out. There we go, just like that. Grab another piece, rotate. Make sure our grid is off and line it up. And then this time we're going to cancel place this one. So we're going to grab it, move it away to the side for a moment, and press whatever number you have something that's placeable in, and hit cancel. Grab another one of these and rotate. We are going to need to adjust the pillar just a little bit. We're going to need to bring it outwards a little bit here. So let's bring that pillar right here. Maybe right there. All right, and let's go ahead. I'm gonna bring this guy. He's a little bit not quite lined up. Let's turn off our thing here. Let's try that. There we go. Now it's all lined up, and let's go ahead and hot plots again. Looks like we have to make a little bit more adjustments. Sometimes it's just that you have to play around with things. So for this time, this side is good. However, the front side is not quite good. So I'm gonna jump up here and I'm going to grab the one that is for the, let's see. Side is good. So yeah, the one that is for the side, that's the one that we are going to move out of the way temporarily. So let's cancel place it. So press 1, hit cancel, and let's jump back up here. Let's go ahead and move these back a little bit. Or no, I needed to move it over because there was a gap. I needed to move it over to the side. I was trying to remember how the error was. Yeah, see, that was the problem. Was just there was that little bit of gap, and because we had moved this to fix this whole thing, we just needed to close that gap in. Okay, and then we are going to hot plots again. And it's looking pretty perfect. All these sides are looking really good. All right, so then we are going to do the same thing. I'm going to grab this. Only this time we're going to have to move those ones out of the way. So let's set this down. We move this one out. We're going to have to move both this one and this one. So we'll grab this one. Hit 1, hit cancel, grab this one, hit 1, and cancel again. That way we're getting 2 things done at once. Turn off the Z placement, and let's get this in here just like that. Grab the next one. Rotate it. Stand back a little bit. And overlap a little bit and make sure it's lined up. And grab the next one. And fit it in just like that. Okay. And now we are going to hop plots. So now everything is in its place and it looks good on all the sides. So the next step is going to be to start building our roof. So to do that, we are going to take the floor pieces and we are going to put the pavers on top of them. If you want, you can rotate them to make them different directions. I typically turn off my grid just to make it so that they sit nicer together. You can kind of have them off-centered if you want. Just rotate them around sometimes. Let's see, about right there. Just whatever you think looks good. Some people, you might want to layer them. So if you wanted to layer them, you could just grab more of them and put, you know, something like this. They look a little more rustic, shabby chic. But I'm not going to do that for the sake of time, and it's not the style that I'm going for, so I'm just going to put these pretty basic on here. I'll rotate this one, just give it a little bit of variant. But at minimum, you need 10 of these. Or you could use a different floor piece. Or you could just keep it a bare wood piece. Bare wood floor piece. Okay. So to construct our roof pieces, we are going to need to rotate the shelf back to straight here. And we have to grab a pillar. And we're going to place it on the shelf. Doesn't matter where, just as long as it's somewhere near the edge. And we're going to rotate it on its side, just like that. And then we will make sure we are grabbing everything by the actual floor piece and not the wood panels. So once you pick it up by its floor, you are going to place it on your pillar, just like this. Make sure it's lined up. And then we will pick up this build by the pillar so that it's turned on its side, just like this. Okay. And now we're going to rotate our shelf again back to its original position. And the next part is to grab the same pillar, so this entire structure, and put it up on the shelf. And this time we are going to rotate it to its side, just like this. And then we are going to take this and it ended up upside down. So when it's like this, you're going to rotate it this direction. Oh, because our other stuff is in the way. I'm going to move this out of the way for the moment. We're going to rotate it this way. Okay. And we want to make sure that we grab this floor piece and we are going to stick it to the pillar. Actually, let's cancel that. Let's bring this shelf over to the edge here. Make it a little bit easier on ourselves. Okay. Grab the floor. Okay, now it's getting on that pillar. We want to make sure that we have this facing the correct way. So we want to make sure that the floor pieces are going this direction and not the other direction. Unless if you wanted your roof pieces to be facing the other way. And after we have this placed, we're going to grab the pole again and place it on the ground like this. And that way we have our roof. And to get it to the correct place, like the correct height, we are going to, first of all, we are going to put it on a, where is it? I have to think about this. Oh yeah, okay. So we're gonna grab these pieces and we are going to place, by grabbing the pillar, we're gonna place this on top of this. You have to turn off your grid. Just like, you wanna make sure it's actually sitting on top of it and not on the edge like this. So on top of it. Okay. And then we are going to, what's our next step? Oh yeah, we're going to grab our shelf again, put it upright, grab another pillar, okay, and then we are going to rotate. I stick it right on the edge just so I can get the most view. All right, so we're gonna grab this entire thing by this and we are going to rotate it and put it on there just like that. I think that's correct. Yeah, okay. And now we have the back side of our chicken coop. So this has this is the entire structure for that part. And then we are going to make the front part of it separately. So we're just gonna set this aside for now. And then we will do the same thing. We don't need any roof pieces this time. We're just going to grab our shelf, grab a pillar, place it on there. Then we rotate. Just like that. And then we place our piece of copper flooring just like that at an angle, and then we are going to pick it up by our pillar, and we want to make sure that this fits the same height, which it does. We just have to place it in there. Once we get it, we'll have to do some cancel placing. So here's that. All right, so now that we have the sides of our the roof pieces and the upper parts of our building done, those are just set to the side. We are going to, the next part is moving stuff out of the way. So we have to climb up here, and we're going to grab it by the floor. And I am going to put it up there just because it's out of the way. So we're going to cancel place it. So by pressing 1, and so I have an item in my cancel, and press cancel. Okay, so now that's out of the way. We're going to grab this one with the roof on it, and we are going to try to line it up so that it is in line with the pillars. So it is going to be where we have the, so it's on that like the middle of the third line from this white line. And it's also going to be 1 block over from the right hand side white line. So that's where we need to put this. But we're gonna have to move the pillars out of the way. So let's go ahead and just move this back out of the way. And we are going to move, so that piece should end up going like right here where my cursor is. So right like on this like yellow leaf, this bigger leaf. Okay, so we will go ahead and move this out of the way. We have to cancel place them. So press 1, cancel. Cancel. And let's see if we can get this in place without having to move the first 2. So we want it was about right. It was slightly over. It's right there. Actually, we might need it a little bit further in because I believe that the walls will protrude out. You won't, or this will protrude out from the walls. So we want to bring it a little closer. Yep, just like that. Okay, let's hot plots and see what we got. Okay, let's go see. From the front, it looks like we have it in the right place. From the back, it's not quite how I want it. I mean, it's not sticking out from here. The back actually really doesn't matter too much. We can always make some adjustments later and decorate it as well. But I'm not too worried about the back. It's really the front that matters the most. So I'm just going to leave it the way that it is. I'm not too particular. There are times where I can be very perfectionist, and other times I'm like, it doesn't really matter all that much. So from the front, this is what it looks like. Okay, so we're going to place this next piece. So what we have to do is we actually have to move things out of the way again. So we're going to move this by grabbing this pole. We're going to cancel place it. And then we're going to grab the floor of everything. We're going to cancel place it and put it up here. Hitting 1, cancel. And then we are going to grab this front wall piece and we're going to rotate it so that less of the pole is sticking out. And we're going to put it just, hit the Z, turn off the grid, and we're going to get it just right in here. So that these pillars are touching, but it's not quite. Let's see, yeah. So nothing's overlapping, but it's touching. Okay, and let's hot plots again and see what we got. I know there's a lot of hopping plots and a lot of cancel placing, and this is one of the more complicated builds, but it is definitely worth it. All right, that is looking pretty perfect and lined up. The roof is lined up perfect with the front. All right, the next step is to get the ramp and the opening for the chickens to come out of. Okay, so we are going to do the same thing with the black shelves as we did with the industrial shelves. So we are going to grab more of the pavers. I'm going to put one on top of here. Take off my grid just to make sure that it's hanging over the edge. Rotate this. Make sure it's underneath my little groove right there. And I'm gonna grab the shelf, bring it down here, find my cup or my bowl, put my bowl right in the center. And, oh, first of all, I need to grab this, the paver, put it on top, find that sweet spot. Oop, almost had it. Wait for it to turn green. There we go. Got to move it around a little bit until it turns green. And if you can't find the green spot, then you'll have to move your paver just a little bit more off of the edge. And now we're going to select our bowl and then group select our shelf. Make sure the grid's back on. And get this right in the center. And turn this on its side. Do the same thing with the other shelf, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, so now that we have these on their sides and they are the same size, we first actually have to do a couple of little things before we can place them. So we actually need to move out this piece out of the way. We're going to cancel place it. And we need to move out... We actually need to move out everything except for the pillars. So we're gonna move this one. Cancel place. And then also the floor piece again to move the entire thing. And cancel place. Okay. And we need some wall pieces to be able to put this guy on. So where did I put? Did I not grab extra wall pieces? Oh wait, I have some in my inventory right there. Okay, so let's just set down a wall piece. I may have forgotten to include that in the inventory list. So we want to make sure that this is behind the pillars because we don't want it to protrude through. So we're going to place that first, and we'll see where we'll have to see where things land. Okay, so let's grab this guy. So we may have to bring this back depending on where this ends up. So let's hot plots and check and see how our work is. Yeah, it definitely needs to be brought back. So, and also lowered a little bit. So let's just go ahead and move this guy a little bit up and a little to the right from this side. Let's turn off Z. And then let's turn Z back on. Oop. Okay, that might be the right spot. Let's hope, because I'm kind of tired of going back and forth. So I'll meet you back here. Okay, let's hope that this is in the right spot. It is good enough for me. You can mess around with it more if you want. I am done messing around with it. The frame on this one, my original one, does come out a little bit more. Just, actually, not really, not by much. It's really only on that one side. The black ends up covering it, so it really doesn't matter all that much. Okay, so the next part is to get the doorway in there. Okay, the black part. So we are going to have to move stuff out of the way again. Again, we pick this up, press 1, cancel place. Pick this up, press 1, cancel. Let's see. Let's try to figure out where we need to put the black. So the black is going to need to be slightly behind this yellow line that's behind the white line. Like right around, actually almost lined up with the yellow line. So let's remember that. So let's make it so that the black part is lined up there. So we need to move this out of the way again too. Cancel. And we also need to move the wall piece out of the way. And we're going to use, this time we're going to use the table as our placements. So we're going to cancel place this. We're going to use the table for these. Okay. So we need it to come out just a little bit. Actually, we're not going to use the table. We are going to need to use the platform, I think. Actually, another floor piece, put it exactly in the center, and they'll just end up overlapping each other. It's not going to affect anything. It's just another item that we gotta move out of the way, but it's no big deal. Okay. Ooh. I still have that selected. Okay. And grab this. And we said right about on that yellow line. That might be too far out. Let's try moving it back a little. Let's take it off the grid. Turn the grid back on. And turn off the grid again. Grab it. Turn the grid back on. That might be about right. And let's go to our other plot, and I'll meet you back here. Oh, looks about right, actually. Yeah. It's actually in the right spot. So what we need to do is we need to move these out of the way again so that we can get the other one in place. So let's cancel place again. Cancel place. Cancel place. And also cancel place. So much cancel placing. You'll get good at it after this glitch if you're not already familiar with it. All right, so to line up this next one, we have to move this one out of the way. So this one's going to be a little bit more challenging to line up. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab a temporary pole, just so that I'm going to grab this pole over here because we're not using it. I ended up miscounting and well, I mean, having this extra pole does actually help. So so let's put it. All right, let's get this pole right up against the board. Oh, yep, there. It's right there. So we know exactly where to line up our next thing. So we're gonna move this out of the way, cancel place it, and grab our other one. And we want this one to be, let's turn off our thing, to be right there with the edge. I think it's just over just ever so slightly. Even if they overlap a little bit, it's going to look better and there's not going to be a gap. Like the black wood. So, all right, and now we can just move the pole out of the way. And let's go ahead and hot plats again. I'll meet you back. Yep, they are in the right spot and they look pretty good. All right, so we are getting very close to finishing. So in order to close off these sides, we're going to need to place some wall pieces on the inner sides. So, oh yeah, that's right. I did put the wall pieces over here. So I was correct earlier about the wall pieces. So let's go ahead and move things out of the way again. Okay. So let's go ahead and grab our wall pieces. We only need 2 more because we don't need one for the back side as it doesn't show. But this should make it so that when we put these here, nothing on the sides should show through. Make sure it's behind the pillars because we don't want it to protrude through the siding. And I think that's about right. Maybe a little closer. All right, now that we've hot plots, it looks like Those wall pieces are in place. This one is kind of showing through the front and I don't like that. So I will go ahead and move it. So I just have to move it back towards the back just a little bit. Okay, that's probably about right. If it sticks out from the back, oh well, I'm not worried about it. Okay, so let's hot plots again, and I'll meet you back here. Place. Yep, and it's not showing through the front anymore. Again, I'm not too worried about the back. It just looks a little rustic. Looks a little handmade. And I kind of like that look. So, alright. So now that we have those in place, the sides are in place so nobody can see in. Okay. And these wall pieces will also be used for the decoration on the side. So let's get to the ramp and the chicken as well. Little chick. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to have our double wall system here. So we have this one, and then we also need this one. We don't need the cup right now, so I believe we are done with the cup, but I'm just gonna set it over here for now. Okay, so we have to have the wall plate, the wall piece. This one needs to be a little bit lower than the other one. It's maybe about right there. And we have to take more pavers, or another paver, and this time we actually want a large paver. So let's grab a large one, a larger paver. We want like, not that size. Not that size either. Maybe about that size. Okay. So we want to put it on here, and we are going to rotate this. We're going to rotate the shelf. If I can select the shelf. I hate when it moves. It's about that height. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. So we're going to rotate it this direction 2 ticks. Okay. And we're going to do a cancel place method. We're going to move this over to this spot where we're going to cancel place it. So we're going to pick it up, move it over here, but cancel place it. So we're pretending to put it down. And then we will put our gourmet butcher blocks on top of it. So at this point, we will actually need the cup here in just a minute. I forgot about that. So I'm going to place this one down, and we need to grab the cup. Where did I put it? It's right here, or it's the bowl. And we need to put it on top of this, and then group select this so that we can make these go closer together. And you can turn your grid off to get them a little bit closer. And then you pick up your cup. These forks I'm actually going to put on this one. And we're going to turn them this way. And let's put it about right there. Okay. It's where our little chicken is going to sit. Our makeshift bird. I'm going to rotate it and get these kind of close. Let's turn our grid off here. Oh, where's our grid? Get these as close as we can, but not too close. Come on, just take some. There we go. All right, so these are going to be the feet of our little bird. Okay. And now we'll place. Oh, we have to put the cup on this one first. Where's our bowl? It looks like a cup to me because it's really tiny, but we're going to put our bowl on here and then group select it and put it along in here. There we go. And now we got our ramp. And we can just remove the bowl. And then now, when we move this paver, it's going to make our ramp be slanted. You can't see it because it's now underground, but when I put this up here, it's like that. So now we're going to make it so that we're going to put it inside on top of the table. Okay, so we're going to grab our stuff again, move it out of the way for like the millionth time, and do the cancel placing. We may not need to move much stuff out of the way. Let's actually try to put this in here. Let's see if we can find a spot. Let's try there first. Nope, not far back enough. And we would also, it's about center. It's pretty close. Needs to go over just a smidge. And the height is actually really good. It's just, it needs to come back some. So to move it back some, we're gonna need to move, we're gonna cancel place this guy. So 1, cancel. And we're gonna need to cancel place this one as well. 1, cancel. Okay, so let's move this back. Let's take off the grid. Let's see if we can get it. Looks like we might have to do a little bit more cancel placing. So let's go ahead and move this out of the way for now. You do not need to cancel place it, just put it down. And we are going to need to move. Ooh, let's not cancel place that one. Let's cancel place the other one. It's hard to tell until you select it. Here we go. Here's the correct one. So let's just put this up here for now. And yes, the other things are coming with it because it belongs with it. So we're going to cancel place this. Okay. And let's go ahead and move this. We might need to cancel place the front to get it. Being extra stubborn. Yeah, we'll need to cancel place the wall itself. So let's bring this. Cancel place. And let's see if we can move it now. Yeah, it doesn't like the forks. Okay, so let's go ahead and cancel place the black things. So black shelves. So let's move these out of the way. Cancel place it. 1, cancel. on, cancel. Okay. Oop, I keep falling. Pay attention to where I'm going. Okay, let's move that back. Let's try there. All right, let's give this a shot. All right, so it is almost perfect. We do need to move it over to the right just a little bit. But as far as the spacing, like the height and where everything is, once we put our bird there, it's gonna look adorable. So let's go ahead and fix that. If you don't, you may not need to, but for me, that's where it is. Let's hope that's correct. Okay, let's hop plots and see what we got. All right, so this is actually looking really good. So now we're just gonna put our little bird there, and let's do that. Okay, so again, a little bit more moving things. Let's move this first. And let's see, what else do we have to move? We do have to move this one. That's definitely the one that I know we need to move. Let's get it over here. Cancel. Okay, and we also need to move this one. I mean, you don't really have to put it up on anything. It's just, I've had instances where I've forgotten to cancel place it and I could not get it to move. And so therefore I had to like pick it up from its floor again and get it back in its position. Okay, so we're gonna put this, cancel place it. And at this point we're leaving the shelf here. So we need one of our other little cutting boards. I guess we need 4. I was wrong about how many we needed, so we need 4 of them. They are called, what are they called? The Gourmet Butcher Block. I always just want to call them a cutting board. So let's put this guy in here. See if we can get it to fit. Nope, just like that. And now we're gonna put our little duckling on there. And we'll see if this is where his legs line up. If not, then we'll come back and adjust. All right, I'll meet you back here, hopping again. Oh my gosh, he's so cute and he's perfect. Yeah, he looks so good. I'm so excited. He's got his little legs. I mean, you could probably put this back a little further if you don't want his legs to be as long. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and do that because the bird is actually in a good spot. It's just his legs. I think I didn't bring it back far enough. Yeah. His feet are right underneath him. It's great. I think it looks amazing. So, it looks like I might have moved it too far back, just ever so slightly, but I am not gonna worry about it. So if you're a perfectionist, then you can adjust things as needed. But for me, this is good enough. All right, so let me show you the last couple steps. So what you need to do is move these out of the way again. then we only need to move the main section, like nope, not that one, to go and select the right floor piece. There we go, that's the right one. And move that out of the way, cancel place. Okay, so, and then you also need to move the table out of the way. Everything else should be able to stay. Oop. Yeah, okay. Because that's connected, so that is all good. Okay. So for the final touches, we're going to put these on there. Oh yes, and you also have to move the pillars, I do believe. Yep, you have to move the pillars. So however you want to decorate the side of yours, you can do so with whatever you feel like. Alright, so that looks like it's about centered. And then we're going to put this other one on this side, but we're gonna do it upside down to make it look like it's like a little lid to collect your chicken eggs. Okay, and there we go. All right, let's hot pots and see what we got. All right, that looks so cute. I love it. I am obsessed. Now you can decorate it with some lights. I just put the lights on the pole, and I also put this little rake hook thing on the pole as well. On this one, I have my bird coming out a little bit further, but you can actually see his the fork. So I have to make adjustments to make this one perfect as well. It's really hard to get them 100% perfect, but it can be done. It just takes a lot more time, and this video is already pretty long as it is. Just making these, just doing this entire glitch is very time consuming. But this is the basics of it, and I hope you really like this video, and I'm looking forward to making more videos like this. Especially if you want to see more content, please like and subscribe. That way I can be able to make more content. And if you also would like to be my friend on the game, you are welcome to send me a friend request. And I do not mind doing some one-on-one tutorials with people. And I would also love to feature some of you in a tutorial if you would like. So you can always send me a message and to do so. All right, well, have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.